How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Tap the banner or visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man. Detroit Koolaid drinkers. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Derek Oaker, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast, talking about those lines. I got myself a crispy, clean, blue Honolulu blue drink. I don't have any cornbread, but if I did, you know it'd be a double side.
Cornbread! Cornbread!
And we're setting a record here. I think it's 3 weeks in a row. Chops is here. He's ready to go. We're talking no mo, demo. We're talking free agency. He says he's got a hashtag choppy grit index, something. I don't know what he's got going, but we're going to get into it. We got to get the free agency stuff out for the people before it hits next week. Lots to do, lots going on. NHL trade deadline as well. Lots to do. Chops, what's going on, buddy?
Oakrey, make it a three-peat on the show again, 3 weeks in a row. Man, the people, I hope they appreciate the time and the dedication that the Chopster's putting in, brother, to this show the last couple of weeks. But hey, brother, you know, everybody knows that you're the go-to, you're the steady, you're always going to be here. But when you can get the co-host on the show here 3 weeks in a row, this is a special treat. And I have to, before we even dive into this, I got to get a little shout out to the people here, because the Guess Who's Back clip from last week, you know, that was not for Chops. That was for Decker. Okay, so everybody can just tone down the whole. You know, Chops gets his own sound clip now, and you know, Eminem, you know, infringement. Are we getting trademark all this? Oh, but no, that was for Taylor Decker, not for Choppy. But now it's a three-peat. So if we had a song, we could play that.
Guess who's back again?
Taylor Decker. Tell a friend. I mean, Decker's back. You know who's not back, Chops? You want to know?
Oh, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, Oakrey. Get your gloves ready. Let's fight. Who's not back?
We're definitely going to fight, but I'm really disappointed that this gimmick is no longer going to be valid, and that's Demo, faux show, you know, let's go, another skull. We're not going to be able to do that anymore. I had so many variations. The people loved it on the Twitter machine. You guys can find me at Derek Oakrey. It came out of nowhere. It became a thing, a life of its own. And it's no mo. Faux show, you know?
Hey, you know, I don't know if you got to listen to that clip that he sent, the 3-minute little goodbye he said to Detroit there. But I'm pretty sure if you go back and you listen to it real close, he refers to himself as Money.
Well, why'd you go quiet in the end? Because with the tweet I saw, I didn't see his little farewell, because, I mean, once you're not a lion, I don't care as much. But before he said, and there was rumor, innuendo, and all this, he said, "Did Demo say that?" I was like, man, you're going third person now, but at least you're going Demo, because everybody knows it's Demo. It's not you know, what'd you say? D-Money! Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
So, yes, I like when the players go into third person. I also love when they say, "There's no smoke here. There's no smoke here. Don't pay attention. There's no smoke. There's no fire." Oh, and he gone.
Next day, a few hours later.
Next day. See ya.
So, Chops, I've had to say this on a few shows in a row. I'm like very disappointed in you. Very much so. Like, I don't know what this was. Like, you sent me a text. I didn't even know this had happened. You're crying, you're whining, you're talking about boo-hoo, we didn't get enough. Oh, I can't believe we did this. I'm upset. We lost this. And like, I thought you knew value. I thought you like understood what the markets were like. I thought you knew when to move on from a player and when not to, but I don't think you do, because you're talking about stats and you're talking about past performance and this, that, and the other, and like, I just couldn't believe that you were so upset with this. And I'm looking at this once I saw your text, and then I get on the Twitterverse and I see the trade, and then I saw the revised trade where we got multiple picks and a depth player on the O-line who's young and who has snaps and things that are productive. Like, I really like this return, and I know that I can find other backs that can do similar things. Is this a knock on Demo? No. Do I not respect what he did here, and did I not love some of the great years he had? Absolutely not. But was I upset by this return? Nope. Was I disappointed in your whining and complaining, acting like our season was over because we made a trade of value for David Montgomery? Yep.
So first of all, I got to rewind the tape here, because I think what you said was that Chops had to be the one who sent you a text to say, breaking news, Demo is gone. And, you know, before we get into my take, I got a little side rant here. It pisses me off to no end that, because everyone is so anxious to be the guy who, you know, drops the breaking news or reports it first, that this trade went from, oh, it's Demo for a fifth, then it was Demo and a seventh for a fifth, then it was Demo and a seventh for a fourth, and then it was, oh, never mind, throw in Demo and a seventh for this Scruggs and a fourth, and it's like, guys, can we just, like, before we sit here and blow up the Twitterverse, can we actually get the details of what the deal is? And then it's, oh, well, it really, my report was accurate, but then a third unknown party came in and they made a better offer, and so it actually became a fourth. So I didn't really not break bad news. There was, like, really, guys? Like, this is what we're doing? Like, it's not okay to just say, hey, David Montgomery's been traded. Details to follow. And then everyone's just going to be clicking and waiting. But no, let's just throw out random crap that's not even accurate. Pisses me off to no end.
It's a decent
right.
take, Chops. I mean, you do need to look for the people with the blue check marks rather than those random,
I'm
bots
talking
that follow
about
you.
Tom. I'm talking about the legit guys, dude. I'm talking about Shefty. I'm talking about Palisera. All those dudes. Every single one of the official insiders were not right.
Well, they want to be first, like everybody. It's like that annoying person at the office that always tries to, like, tell you the scuttlebutt or act like they know, and then it turns out being something totally different because they want to just
You mean
guess.
Bula? Yeah.
But I mean, they also want to, like, always try to be the first with the breaking news. I mean, is it just me, or since we did that gimmick randomly, I think a week or two ago now, we've done it for a couple weeks, like, I see it everywhere now. I don't know if it's the 6 o'clock news or sports or entertainment or something else, but it's just all over the place, and all I hear is either your goofy voice or my goofy voice doing that. So again, all the people listen, all these Twitter people that are putting out breaking news in big capital letters, where do you think it came from? The Koolaid Cast.
Yeah, that absolutely. And so now to get to my next point about, look, my initial gut reaction in the moment, again, this was before the actual details came out, but they eventually cleared themselves out. But look, Demo for a fifth, actually, I still don't like this trade for the Lions. I mean, again, I know you're going to go back and you go, oh, but this. If you look at everything, look at it collectively for me, the Lions did not get better. Okay, we're still paying Demo $4.8 million this year in dead cap hit. Yes, we cleared up this deal with the addition of Scruggs. We cleared up $1.8 million in cap, but we still don't have an RB2. Okay, so if you're telling me that like we saved $1.5 million or $1.8, we still got to go get another guy, whether it's in the draft or it's in free agency. And to me, you broke up the best 1-2 combo in the league. I was very excited to see what Drew who was going to be able to do with both these running backs. And now you have no RB2. And yes, I know, but Choppy, they're going to go get somebody. Yes, I understand they're going to go get somebody, but they're going to have to pizzay that person. And then that's going to hit your cap even harder. And is that person going to be better than Demo? I don't think so.
I am, again, disappointed because you are missing the point that sometimes I'm not a proponent, you know.
They always tell you there's a catch, a compromise, an asterisk. Terms apply. See store for details. Maybe less than advertised. May vary by mood. Probably. Sprite Zero Sugar? It's different. It's the lemon lime flavored refreshment you want with zero sugar. So, no fast voice? No caveats. Just refreshment. This is Sprite Zero Sugar. Obey your thirst.
Your favorite local grocery stores like Kroger, Ralph's, Fred Meyer, and more are now delivering on Uber Eats. Get 40% off your order of fresh, quality ingredients. Whether you just got home to an empty fridge or suddenly got a craving to whip up something new, you can get everything you need delivered in as little as 25 minutes. Get 40% off your order with code Kroger2026. Plus, members get $0 delivery fees. Order now on Uber Eats. Orders of $30 or more save up to $25. Ends 4/30/26. See app for details.
We're in the Reality Sports Online. I never want to pay people that aren't on my team if I can help it. But you know what I want to do a lot of times? Upgrade. Or maybe the guy's a little long in the tooth, or maybe he's missed it, or maybe I sent you a text that was a little bit overblown but meant like Demo didn't have what I think you thought he had last year based on your numbers or based on what you saw. I feel like it was a step off. His attitude wasn't there. So you know what Brad sometimes tries to be, this time was open for business, Holmes does? He looks at that and says, hold on, let me get ahead of this. Let me move him along to a team he wants to go to. Let me get some assets. Let me get a depth player that, by the way, can play both interior spots and center and has lots of snaps. Is he an all-world beater? No. Is he a starter? Probably no. But can he be a helpful piece? Maybe. And then you don't think that we can take that fourth rounder and get a starter at some spot? Yes. You don't think there's going to be plenty of running back options, some of which will be better in 2026 than what Demo has left from a catching perspective, from finding the end zone, from maybe even a physicality standpoint, or you get a rookie in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round that's just a battering ram, and then you let the multidimensional, positionless, I won't even make you wait for it, elite weapon, Jahmyr Gibbs, do what he does at the highest of all levels. I think it's all good. I think you're getting out on a car right before it kind of breaks down a little bit, and you're turning it in, you're getting what you can get, and then you're getting yourself a new ride, and you're feeling good about it.
I have no retort because I disagree with you on so many levels. This whole like, oh, I think David Montgomery might be washed up. Are you kidding me right now? It's not David Montgomery's fault that they decided to stop giving him the ball. I mean, you look at his stats compared to Jahmyr Gibbs.
When he got the ball, he wasn't as good.
They're not that bad. 4 yards a carry versus 5. He actually was stronger on third down and short yardage than Gibbs was. Yes, Gibbs is elite. He's the game breaker, but he still needs the short yardage hammer, and I don't want to run Jahmyr Gibbs into the ground. Like, I want a steady 1-2. And again, I don't understand why people get so upset. Well, if you got 2 great guys at that position, you might as well get one of them and maybe get a scrubby backup. Really? What happens if Jahmyr Gibbs gets hurt in game 1? Now you're dealing with a 4th-round rookie running back who's new to the league and, I don't know, Sion Vaki and some other dude who has, I think, collectively rushed the ball 17 times in the NFL. It's nonsense. Again, I understand there's a certain point where a guy starts to fall off and you're like, hey, let me get rid of this guy or let me see what's going on. But Demo's not falling off. But now, this is the fun part, right? He is not going to have stats in Houston because that O-line is atrocious. I have no idea why Demo wanted to go there. This does not help his career at all, in my opinion. Like, he's going to, yes, okay, cool. Oh, that's nice. We got CJ Stroud and we got Nico and we got this, we got that. But you have no one to protect the running back. You're going to have guys all over your ass before in the backfield constantly. So this is a terrible move for Demo to say he wanted to go to Houston, by the way, because he's not going to have the stats there either. But I am adamantly against anyone who says Demo was washed up. Absolutely.
Chops, do you know something called the eye test? Do you know this, where it's not looking at numbers, you're not like
maybe did he have a good interview too, Okri? Oh.
Did you watch him last year? Were you blown away by the pop that he gave you, or just these big time games? Or you're giving me like, well, he had 700 yards. That's like 20 to 30 yards a game. I mean, these are not like big time numbers. He had a couple big games. 4 games where they only gave him the ball less than 8 times. Okay, I mean, he was either upset or Dan freaking Campbell understood what the changeover was, which I understand as well, and you don't. You just been clamoring for, I want to run it back. I think he's going to do this. I think he's going to do that. It was best for all parties to move on, in my humble opinion. And you want to know another reason I'm disappointed on you, and then we'll keep this moving, is because this happened about 2 to 3 years ago. You want to know, we had a guy named D Swizzle. You remember him? DeAndre Swift. And we were like, oh, look at what he does. We got to keep him. Like, oh, wow. Why we draft Jameer Gibbs? And then we're like, we trade Swizzle for a 4th to Philly. All of a sudden, we get a guy who you clamored for.
You got a better pick. You
got Demo, who you were clamoring for, who I didn't think would either come here or would be that good. He came here. He had 2 tremendous seasons, one that was a fall off, and now they're going to do it again, and you can't see the future because you're too stuck in the past. You want to tell me what you thought you saw, what you hoped for, instead of what's happening right in front of your face. And that's Brad Holmes replenishing the running back position with a elite talent, as well as he's going to get a guy that's going to be similar or better than Demo. You just don't want to accept it.
Allegedly. Again, as of today, this day, the first week of March, the team is not better at the running back position. I'm not saying they aren't going to get better. I'm not saying the running game is shot. I'm not saying we aren't going to be able to move the ball. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying as of today, our running back position is actually not good. Okay, so I love Jameer Gibbs. He's the best running back. You heard me say last year, RB1 over every single person. Quads, everybody. Run down the gambit. Bijan, bum. Jameer Gibbs is the man. That has not changed. But right now, as a collective unit, our running back room is a freaking stud and a bunch of rag dolls. We are not better at that position. Now, does that mean they can't go out and sign a guy, which I think we're going to dive into here in a few minutes? Yes, they can. But I don't think you got the value for a guy because, again, I still think that David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs collectively together are a hell of a 1-2 punch, probably the best one in the NFL. And there was no reason to save $1.8 million to bring in a center who, by the way, like the guy Scruggs, look, maybe he's going to come back and rejuvenate his, but how many times has Brad Holmes taken a shot on a guy to rejuvenate his career and that's worked out? Can anyone tell me that? When was the last time that worked out?
Chops, we got a 4th round pick for Demo. You know what things go for in the NFL? Good players go for 5ths. Guys that are real good or you think could be good go for a swap of a 6th and a 7th a lot of times. You got a 4th, a 7th, and a player that might help your O-line in some way. Like, I'm getting upset now because I feel like you're just hemming and hawing. And is this your take? I want to know if this is your take to end this topic/argument. We're not better today at a running back. The trade happened yesterday. How would we be better? We have a 4th round pick in our back pocket, an O-line depth, money, and you're not even looking at the 2-year down the line. What you're going to pay Demo is $9 to $11 million, or you not happy that now that's going to be saved and probably go to I don't know, Laporta, Gibbs, my boy Brian. Wait, hold on. My boy Brian Branch. You're not happy about any of that? You'd rather have Demo for 2 more years? Is that what you're telling me? Of course we're not better the day after the trade because we haven't used the pick or the money or acquired any other players. Ya bum?
I don't know. You're calling me a bum now. Okay, all right. You didn't want to get personal. We can start getting personal, buddy. I don't like the trade. I'm allowed to have my opinion, Okri. And am I saying that this is, we're doom and gloom? No. But my initial reaction for all the reasons I laid out is I don't like the trade. I'd rather have David Montgomery on this roster. So maybe Brad Holmes can pull some magic in the fourth round. But, I mean, have you looked at his draft class lately? How are those doing?
Hey, I have faith. I don't look at exactly in the exact moment. You have to look at what's going to probably happen. If none of it happens, you can criticize, but don't tell me, well, we're not better today and we might be better, but I'll have to wait and see. TBD if you ask me, but we'll see. I hope it all goes well. Like, one, that's not a take, and two, like I said, this happened 2 years ago. We've seen this happen. It happens in the league all the time, especially at RBs. You recycle them, you move them around, you get another couple fresh bodies, and you go.
Dude, you're telling me that you're comparing. I mean, first of all, you're not even getting the comparison right, because what it really was is when we traded away, or we let Jamal Williams walk, and they replaced that, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? He just broke the record for touchdowns. Oh, his stats. This is not the same. David Montgomery is a complete back. Jamal Williams was a pounded in the ground from the 1 yard line guy. And before that, if you're saying that D Swizzle was anywhere near where D Monty was, then the year before they got traded, then you're crazy.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the Paradise Podcast.
I am your host, Ryan Michelle Bethay, with my husband, Sterling.
What's up?
Join us here on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus, where we'll discuss each episode with the cast and crew of Paradise. I'll be getting all the secrets from Dan Fogelman, James Marsden, Shailene Woodley, Julianne Nicholson, and Sterling Kelby Brown. Woo! Paradise, the official podcast, is now streaming.
And stream Paradise on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus.
D Swizzle is better today than Demo was last year and moving forward.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. We clearly have completely different opinions on running backs. We need to move on because now I'm getting pissed off. I know you're a D Swizzle slappy, so.
I want to say it one more time for the people. I love Demo. Thank you for your time.
Nope, you hate him. You absolutely hate him. Don't listen, people. He's lying. Everything that comes out of his mouth, he hates David Montgomery.
Sonic and Knuckles was a thing. We all loved it. It was great. But all parties decide to move on, so I can do it one more time, and that's it. Demo, faux show, let's go. No more scos, I can't find anything to rhyme with Houston or the Texans, but I wish him the best, and I think the Lions are going to be just fine. Chops, you know what we got to do? You want to know what the people want, other than us yelling at each other? You want to know?
I think we've entertained the people enough on the running back take, and what I think...
Chops, we need to talk about
you forgot about the other big
agency.
News.
What other big news?
You forgot about the other news. You forgot about the other news.
What is that?
Come on, man. This is big news. Graham Glasgow cut from the Lions. Huge savings. Long in the tooth. You want to talk about long in the tooth? You forgot about Graham. Michigan boy. Come on. Then we can move on to free
I was kind of teeing you up. If you're going to continue to say there's more news and it's large, it's huge, it's what's another word me won't use? I thought you were going to do the thing.
Look, you can only do the thing so many times. I mean, if you want me to do it again, I could go breaking news. Graham Glasgow, no longer a Lion. He gone, which we kind of called like months ago. But anyway.
Well, what you want to know, what the breaking news is that we said $5.5 million for a red-ass dude that did really love it here, wasn't playing very good football, was a Michigan man at one time, was a good Lion, then went away, got beat up, came back, tried his hardest, didn't really work out that well. Chop wanted to pay him anything he wanted a few years ago. Oh, just give him 10 to 12 million. That's a good deal. We got out of it. We're going to get better at that position. Chops, this isn't breaking news, but I got great news for the people, because before the show I had just enough time to go through the old Lions starters and kind of resort everyone, get a few magnets up on the board, and I think I put together quite the Lions starting lineup, and then it's going to lead us right into the free agency DKC shopping list that we got to do, as well as I need you to pull some names out of the hat, and we're going to bounce some names around before free agency starts. I don't know, Monday? Monday through Tuesday is tampering, Wednesday, I don't even know, but it's next week, bro.
Yeah, it's dude, it's coming up faster than people realize. Also, actually, this is the funny thing that I love about Right. So free agency officially opens on, I think, March 11th. The best part about the NFL is there's a tampering period, legal tampering period, that starts on Monday the 9th, where teams can negotiate and they can talk and they can wine and they can dine, and guys can verbally agree to come to the team. And then on the 11th, they can actually officially go to a different team. Is the tampering period not the dumbest thing in the world, Oakley? What's up with that?
Well, it's the dumbest on paper, but to be honest, by the time real free agency happens, it'll be over. Because in that tampering period, everybody that's worth a damn gets signed. Money's flying all over the place. They'll spend a few $1 billion in the first few hours. And then you'll get to... hey everybody, it's the free agency frenzy on NFL Network, everybody.
4 p.m. on the Wednesday.
Can't wait, everybody's all fired up, right? We're gonna have all these signings, and then it's it's a bunch of, I can't find the button, but it's the crickets. So I'm glad it actually starts sooner. It gets over sooner. The Lions will probably be very active in that early stages, I'm sure. But Chops, I think I've fixed our team as well as went through and said, damn, as long as we don't hit with by 18 million injuries, we got a hell of a football team going into 2026. So.
I think you just touched on something here, and I want to. Can I have another quick second to just rant, and then let's dive right into how you've completely fixed the Lions as the Oakley GM and
yes.
Bro, I am going bananas about all these conflicting rumor innuendo. Hey, I heard the Lions are in on Mac Crosby. Hey, I heard the Lions are going to make a real big splash at center. Linderbaum is on the reserve. Hey, I heard the Lions have said they're doing nothing. And how is it that all these insiders have such conflicting reports? We're doing this, we're going to do that, we're not going to do anything. Brad Holmes has shut the purse strings. Again, is this just all clickbait to me at this point? I don't even understand what's going on with this.
So, to that point, I got an issue with Dan freaking Campbell and Brad used to be always open for business, especially on draft day, not so much anymore. Holmes, because they're so honest that 3-4 years in now, whatever they say is pretty much what they do. You know what I'm waiting for? The old whoopsie fake. The old, hey, told my buddy we're just going to lay low and pay our guys, and then all of a sudden they come out guns a-blazing. Or they tell everybody they're going to do one thing, and then the next day they do the complete opposite, but it's way better. Like, that's what I would like, is the old look over there, oh wait, you missed the left hand coming type move from these guys, and they don't. They just say what's real, which I'm sure does a lot for players and is good for the organization and get you high grades on the old NFL scorecard. But Chops, we know there's a little bit of sleight of hand you have to do when you're a dominant high-end GM like me and you in realitysportsonline.com fantasy leagues, right? You got to sometimes say, I don't really like that, I'm not willing to give up that pick, and then the day later you give up that pick and get a better player. You gotta play the game.
Oh man, Oakrey. I mean, look, you brought it up, but you are talking to the defending champ, GM of the year in the old RFL, call it RSO. And, again, just even today, I got, hey, I'm looking to trade back and get a first for, I'll give you my first this year for a first and a second next year. I'm like, no, I'll do a first for a first if you just want to do a quick strop. No, there's no way I do that. Next seconds later, he accepted the trade. Okay, cool. Yep, thanks. And then 2 minutes later, he was able to swindle some other dude and actually get extra picks more than what I sent. So I'm like, hey, more power to you, man. But you got to be open for business, Brad Holmes. It's time.
Here's the thing, though. Why would some dope trade you who swindles everybody in the league and won because of these ridiculous moves? Why would someone trade you a first-round pick for a first-round pick next year? That makes no sense on any level. Don't tell me, the draft's way better next year. I don't care. It's a year later, and it's the exact same asset, and you don't even know what pick it is next year.
It's actually a worse pick, let's be honest, because I'm going to run it back and go, guess who's back?
That's just terrible business on so many levels.
32, so you know it's going to be better this year. But yeah, anyway.
Goodness. All right. Chops. Do you want to hear how I fix the Lions?
Yeah, let's get this Oakrey Lions DTO scouting office. I've fixed all the problems. My starting center is now Juicy Scruggs. Let's hear it.
All right. Well, what I did with my very limited time I have available, probably about 10 minutes before the show started, was I threw up an old Oakrey magnet board and I started like, let me figure out these starters. Let me put them in different spots. So, like, our O-line's got Taylor Decker on the left side. Is he my boy or your guy, Christian Mahogany, there on the left guard for now? I know we said we didn't want to do it. But I'm sliding Tate Ratledge to center for the time being. That way I can play your boy, who I nicknamed Miles Boombaye Frazier at right guard and Penei Sewell at right tackle. So I fixed and moved one piece and a couple pieces around, and I got a starting O-line that's young, that's pretty much lowly paid other than Deck and Sewell. And I can still add there if I want to. I can see if Gio Manu ever becomes anything, so he could be a swing tackle. I've got another swing interior player or two that I either have now or I can obtain. So I feel good about that. When we start moving to the skill guys, Chops, I got Amon Ra out there at WR1. I don't know how his back's doing, but I assume he'll be back either to start or at some point. And that's Sammy Biscuits for all the Laporta supporters out there. I've got hashtag JamoFast at WR2 and Isaac Tesla, a.k.a. what is it, Chops? I forgot.
Vanilla Smooth.
Vanilla Smooth in the slot, or as a big slot, or as WR3, or whatever you want to call it. And then I got everybody knows he's your boy, Jared Goff, hashtag Goff Train at quarterback. Those are my frontline starters on offense, Chops. I am seeing holes that I said I need to be filled at some point of a WR4, a TE2, an OT 2 or 3 if needed, and a center either 2, or if you don't want to move Tate, you could still either get a Wiley vet, which I suggest, or everybody's pipe dream that thinks they're going to fix everything and pay Tyler Linderbaum $25 million per to come here and hope that he's good as Frank Ragnow. Chops, what do you think?
I like the front line starter slot, but like you said, it leaves us very, very thin on our depth chart in a lot of places. I mean, again, we're going to draft a wide receiver because that's just what we do, and that's what good NFL teams do every year. You got to pick up at least one of those on a late flyer in the 6th or the 7th, maybe one of those comp picks that you're going to get. I don't love Tate Rat at center. I know when we drafted him, that was the thought. Then they were high on it. They did it in camp. Then they backed off of it. And if somehow Graham Glasgow was doing better at center than Tate Rat was, that does not bode any confidence for the old choppy chop.
It was his second week on the team. He had been here a week, and they put him back at his spot. He's had a year now, and
yeah.
You're moving him because is there anybody better that you can get with a draft asset? Tell me. If there's a better vet, I'm open to the opportunity. But if we want to just manipulate our team now so we don't have to fill more holes or double dip at spots, it's an option.
You know how I feel about those young cats at that whole interior. I mean, you basically lined up the entire interior the way I said we should, that was the future, right? You got Frazier, you got Mahogany, and you got Tate Rat in those 3 spots, prime spots.
That's how you max it out. That's what I'm saying right now, not knowing what we're
and again,
going
the
to
young
do,
cats all drafted
within
the first last couple of years. Like, you got a good core there, and of course you got the 2 anchors on the end. If Taylor Decker can stay healthy, I don't hate the front line. Let's put it that way. Like, do you need some supplemental troops to get in there? Yeah. Do I think that Juice Scruggs is going to be able to get in there and steal a starting spot? Nope. How you feeling about Jamarco Jones or Gio Manu? Not great. So we got to get some bodies in there. How about Tristan Colon? No. What?
Chops.
We're not doing the 3D.
We're not doing the 3D depth chart. We're doing the frontline starters, and we're talking about where do we maybe need to fill. So offense, we already know is pretty good. Did you also say a minute ago that you don't hate him? You don't? Did you say that?
I queued it up for you.
I don't hate him. I don't. Well, that's how you should feel about Juice Scruggs, because yes, he's a depth player that may give us some value, but we're not doing that right now. We're doing frontline starters. So let's move to where we really need the help, which is the defense. We've needed it for a while. I've got Aiden Hutchinson on the outside.
Unleash Hutch.
I've got Aleem McNeil, a.k.a. Honey Bun, a.k.a. Twinkle Toes, a.k.a. in the inside. He's going to have a big bounce back year. I got your boy, Tyleek Williams, from that school we shall not speak of.
Ohio State is vanquished.
And I got absolutely nobody at the other edge, so that's wide open.
Nobody.
I've got Terrion Arnold, if he gets out of court clean, I hope, on the outside. I've got DJ, that's my DJ, Reed as CB1. We've paid him. He played pretty well until he tore his hamstring off the bone. And I don't even have a CB3/slot corner, so that needs to be high on my list. I know Ennis the Menace Rakestraw is there, but he's got to show me something before I'm just putting him in the old spot. So I got him as a backup. When we get to the linebackers, all I've got for bodies on the front line is Derek, I can't spell my first name correctly, Barnes, who we just paid, and I hope makes better plays. He didn't have a bad year, but he didn't do anything that wowed me most of the time. You got a.k.a. Revord, with his big belt buckle wearing, no haircut having, cowboy hat wearing, chopping down trees in his free time, Jack Campbell. And then you need another outside backer, a guy that can rush the passer. And then when we get to our safeties, you got Kerbo and his one knee. We hope, TBD if you ask me, but we'll see. I hope it all heals up well. And then you got my boy, Brian Branch. And yes, I did have to put them there because I'm an optimist and hope that they'll be okay and they'll be able to play. And even if it's not day one, they're still my frontline guys. But then I got 2 big question marks after that of who can play if they can't, who's a backup. So lots of holes on defense. Let's go through them again. Edge, OL, starter, backup, cornerback 3, cornerback 2, backup if Terrion's not available, 2 safeties. And then also depth on the interior line. And I don't know, how about more than one edge named Aiden Hutchinson? Chops, what do you think?
Oh my God. I think I'm more depressed now about this Demo trade that you just went through the defense and identified about 10 holes that we got to somehow fill in the draft.
You shouldn't be more
And
mad because we've got multiple picks. We got 9 picks. We've got some money to spend. You should be optimistic. Do you need a little of that delicious Detroit Koolaid?
Drink it in, man.
How about a double side to get you going?
Cornbread.
Detroit Koolaid listeners, hey, it's your boy at Chops in the D, and I got a question for you. Do you want to make your own podcast? If you do, Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easy, and then you can distribute it anywhere, anytime, and even make some money on it. All in one place, and guess what? It's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or your computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then, you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else that podcasts are heard. There's video options for podcasts as well available on Spotify. And listen, if you want to take your podcast to the next level beyond that, you can start a conversation with your fans with a Q&A poll that's available as well. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it is totally free. No catches, no gimmicks, free. I highly recommend you give it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started today. Woo! Way!
All right. I'm filling the glass up here. Okay. Like I do like the optimism about Brian Branch and Kerbo being ready to go at the beginning of the season, but you still got to get a little depth. I know we're not going to talk about depth. You don't want to talk about depth, but yeah, we got a lot of holes on the defense to fill, man. Like, I'm trying to be optimistic here, but I'm looking at this roster and I'm like, you literally have no one on edge other than Hutch. No one. You let Wheatley walk. You got no Fattenport. You got the Prophet gone. Who knows what's happening with the I don't know, but who? Yeah, I just don't even know. You gotta replace Anzo there. That's a lot of bodies to fill. And last time I checked, let me get the big board here. What is going on? The Lions don't have a lot of cap space to fill all these holes with, Okri. So what are we going to do? How are we going to address this? What's the plan?
Chops,
What's the plan?
I don't think you understand this exercise. This is not the Okri 53, 80, 90-man roster deep dive. This is the who are our frontline players, and is there a guy either behind them, or what are we going to do if somebody's locked up in the old prison cell? What if somebody's one knee isn't working properly and needs more acupuncture? What about a guy coming off an Achilles? So, like, all we're doing is trying to say, what are the gaping holes? And I just gave them to you. So now the exercise is we need to go into free agency and find ourselves, I don't know, a starting edge, a slot corner, and preferably what's our third biggest need here? To me, if you're going to play 3 linebackers, you only got 2 that have ever done anything, and you haven't re-signed Rodrigo. That's the live version, by the way. Here's the sound drop.
Rodrigo!
Like, you have to go get a guy there, and that's just not even figuring in your 2 safeties who are both TBD at this point. So let's go shopping. Let's get me some names, or do you want to hear a couple Okri names? Off the top of my head, I don't have the detailed list, but I got a few names that intrigue me that I would like them to look at as well.
So first, I just want to clarify. I understand that the point of the exercise is to identify our starting 22. Okay, I get it. But when you list off the starting 22 and about 6 of them make me scratch my head and to see if they're really going to be ready, and we're talking about a starting 16, it freaks me out a little bit, man. Okay,
I know, but you're going in a deep dive about the assassin and about this guy that's 4 down the depth chart.
Well, right now, this assassin's probably the starter at the other side bunch, isn't he?
But we're going free agent shopping right now, as well as know that we can get someone with our prolifery, a plethora of draft picks that are going to be better than those guys. But they'll still be on the roster. They're still going to hand out Gatorade. They might still shine shoes to the bowling alley on Saturdays. We know this.
All right. So you've identified the main targets. I think we can agree. We got edge. We got linebacker. We got corner. I still would love to get some a center / tackle. even though you seem to be okay with those starting 5. We know we need a wide receiver 4, not necessarily a priority. So Okrie, in Okrie land, in the DTO free agency scouting office, where are you starting? Where are you opening up the purse? Where are you paying some people to make this team better?
I have always had an affinity for this player. I saw a projection of his contract recently. It's probably more than I'd like to spend, or definitely more than Brad Holmes is going to spend. But the first name I scribbled down on my sheet is an edge position. He is a young player coming out. I've always liked him. He's kind of been up and down, but he always has potential and upside. And that's Odafe Oweh, edge. I guess he's with the Chargers now. I'd love to see a freak like that. He's probably like 26 or 27 at this point and has plenty of good years left. Give him 4 years I saw $20 million. Let's see if we can get him here for 12 to 15 and put him on the outside. He's always been a freak with upside.
Okay. I don't hate it. That's not where I thought you were going with that when you built it up a little bit, but
no.
I thought, it's kind of sounds similar. I thought you were going with a little Boye Mafe, but okay. All right. I don't hate it.
I like him too. These really aren't like, that's not like my top gotta have him guy. That was the one that I thought was like, is he sort of second tier? Is he still young? Is he have some, where you could get him, but he'll outperform his deal type of guy. But then I saw like 4 years, 20 million, 85 million per is what I saw on the Twitterverse. And I was like, well, we're not going to do that for that type of guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at like a 19.9 average, cap hit for him potentially projected. So
do you want to hear a linebacker name that just popped out at me that I want, and I know this guy has shortcomings, but I think if he's healthy, is a guy that I'd love to see here in Detroit. You want to hear this?
Let's hear it.
Linebacker, leader, super intelligent, Nakobe Dean to the Lions.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of injury issues, and he's smaller, he's this. Remember him coming out of college? This dude was like a chemical engineer major, leader of the team, tackles, does everything right. And if the Lions, again, I'm not the guy who, I listen to all these guys, and some of them are good, some not so much. You want to break down what the Lions do defensively and what they only acquire. And I don't know if Nakobe Dean, he probably doesn't fit those type of body things or whatever, but you already got the big body in Campbell, and you already got another big body physical freak in Barnes. So I figure you get a smaller but a tackling machine leader type in Nakobe Dean to play either on the outside or to play inside and move the two big boys on the out and even let them rush a little bit. And that was my thought.
Yeah, I think you and I were both pretty high on Nakobe Dean coming out of college 4 years ago. Philly snagged him up, as Philly seems to do, grabbing these quality dudes. Georgia. 25 years old, projected to hit, I think, right now the market value is set around like 8 million, maybe a little less than that, 7.7. So, is that the kind of guy you're looking for, $7-8 million a year for a young cat, Nakobe Dean? I wouldn't hate it. I like where your head's at with that.
That seems way too much based on his injuries, and just like if Anzo's going for like 5 or 6, I don't know why he'd be going for 8, even though he's younger.
It seems 25.
It seems like you get Nakobe Dean for like 3 years, 15 with a lot back-ended, and he'd be happy. Chops, I saved one of my better ones for last. You want to hear this third name? You want to hear this? That I think's an absolute home run. I've loved this guy since day one. I think he'd come in here and could start day one, to be honest. You want to hear this?
Yeah, let's tee it up. What position are we talking about, Okrie?
Safety.
Whether you bond over streaming binge-worthy videos, watching sports recaps, video gaming, or by unplugging altogether, the 2026 Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid helps keep you connected throughout your journey. Learn more at Lincoln.com. Available connectivity features and functionality vary by model. Package pricing, trials, and term lengths vary by model. Video streaming and games are only available while parked.
Walmart Business saves you time, money, and hassle, which means you can focus on what really matters. Like putting the money you save back into what you do. Spending more time training your team, filling orders, and finding new clients. Anything and everything, right down to... Oh, that's one. Choosing the best hold music. Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love. Now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
Safety. This guy's been on multiple reality sports online teams for your boy Okri. This guy always produces. For some reason he fell off and he even got either traded or cut, but then went and played, and he's just a ball player. I like this guy a lot. Julian Blackmon, safety, used to be with the Colts, went down to the Saints for a while. Pull him up on the old choppy machine over there and see what you got for numbers or where he ranks on the open safety. This is a tier 3-4 type guy probably on their list that I think could come in and start day one at safety when BB and Kerbo aren't ready.
Oh man, I'm trying to figure out where he's at here. He's not coming up on the let's see here. He is actually was he just cut recently? Because I'm showing that he is still on the Saints roster technically.
I don't think so. I think he's a free agent. How old is he? About 27-ish?
27 years old, coming out of Utah, third round pick.
Love this player.
I remember both. I think he's in year 6 right now. So like the player for sure, man. Safety, again, this is another one. People are like, oh, we're okay at safety because we got Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. I'm like, no, we're not. Like, I am okay with finding a guy who can come in, maybe not willing to pay a bunch of money for somebody, break the bank for a safety, but there's a lot of names out there. There's some young good cats. Donovan Wilson out of Dallas is another one. He's kind of, he's had some good years, some ups and downs. Nick Cross coming out of Indy, another young cat, 24 years old. Huge on him in the draft. I think you and I both really like this kid coming out of Maryland. So
part of it too is like you just said though, with our guys, I'm not trying to get a guy that's like a highly paid, gonna be a start. What I'm trying to get is a stopgap, cheap option, but also a good football player. Like I'm just looking at Julian Blackmon's 2024, which is 2 years ago with the Colts. 62 tackles, another 24 assisted, 3 picks. And I can't remember if he was a captain out there or what, but he just kind of like he always produced number wise, and then they kind of just fell out of favor. They moved him along for whatever reason. I don't know what his story was in the Saints, but that's one of my favorite little sneaky targets. And like I said, I feel like it's a guy that's got a little bit of that grit, probably has a burr under saddle because he wants to get back to playing ball. So that's another reason why I pick some of these guys. Not because it's like, hey, let me tell you how we're going to get Brandon Smith as a left. I mean, stupid stuff like that. The top guy at every position. It was more like, who are these sneaky under the radar guys that either used to be productive or have been hurt a little bit and are probably on the upswing again. Those were a couple of the ones I went for. And the same with my tight end option. Chops, you want to hear this? You want to hear a tight end I think we can get who's much better than your boy Brock Wright? You want to hear this?
How could he be better than Brock Wright? Big Brock, but okay.
This has always been an Okri favorite. He popped up on the list a few days ago. I was like, man, he's available? This guy just started to make plays over the last year because he was buried on the depth chart for 2, 3, 4, however long it's been. And that's my boy Charlie Kolar, who was down there in Baltimore. Like, I thought he was going to be good. They were going to run all these multiple tight ends, and then they got, I don't know, they had Mark Andrews. Then they got, what's his name, who was over out there playing, dropping passes, fumbling at the end zone. Charlie Kolar was a stud in college. Isaiah likely to mess up when it counts. Charlie Kolar can catch. He's gritty. He was great in college. He started to show off when he finally had to play down there the last little bit here, last year or so. And, man, what a great depth tight end we could get here that's big, physical, can catch the football, make plays after the catch. This was a guy that I thought was similar to a Trey McBride type if he didn't get buried. And we all see what Trey McBride has done, just absolutely ball out in, I don't know, Drew Who's offense. So get him here, please.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a sneaky, 27 years old, not going to be super high in demand, coming out of Iowa State. You could probably wrap him up for like 1.5 mil, something like that.
Right.
And I think I'd be okay with running him behind, our guy for the Laporta supporters if he's healthy.
And that's the compliment. It's like I already paid Brock Wright, so I know he can't go anywhere. So give me Laporta if he's healthy. Kolar behind him that has more in the passing game and whatnot. And Brock Wright's no stiff. Like, he can block, he can catch a little bit. We've seen him make big time plays at times when they've given him the opportunity. So to me, that's a nice little three-headed monster there at tight end, as well as gives Biscuits time to get right if he needs it, And you're not breaking the bank. You're not going out there and say, oh, we need to get Ingram or one of these other guys. Like, no, that guy doesn't fit the grit.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and they like to run that heavy package. Drew, who likes to run that, monster tight end set. So I think you get some bodies in there that are cover you if Sammy Biscuits isn't ready to go, but can still be productive even when he is ready to go. The other one that pops out to me, again, I know he's had a little bit of injury history, he's kind of bounced around, is Greg Dulcich. Sign him for $1 million. He's 25. Coming out of Miami, I know he's had some ups and downs, but I think he's another guy that always stood out to me. I loved him coming out of Cal.
And he's a good pass catcher. He just I don't know, he's gritty, and the injuries have always been a thing with him. When he plays and gets opportunities, okay in the pass game, but will he block or will he fit what we do? I'm unsure. Chops, here's a little rapid fire Oakery on some other names. Again, I didn't do a deep dive, but my boy Troutman was a Dan Campbell draft pick down there, and the Saints, he's kind of always buried, doesn't do much, but he could be a depth player at tight end. We've got
anytime
linebackers.
He's called upon, he produces, though. That's the thing about Troutman. Anytime, when their number one is hurt, and they're like, oh, who are we going to go to? He's just there, steady, reliable, doesn't mind the physicality. I mean, I know he's 29, but he's balled out. I like that.
Shout out to any of my buddies that are still listening to the pod from Dayton, Ohio. Chops, I used to tear up the streets in Dayton, Ohio, whether it was on the basketball court or we used to play football in the streets, tackle. I put the Dion headband on and we just go street versus street, football tackle on the pavement. Shout out Dayton, Ohio, everybody. Linebackers, Chops, I got Ellis, the linebacker, I believe he was isn't he with the Saints? He's former Luther Ellis's son. I saw a whole piece on these guys. They're absolute competitors. How about Josie Jewell if you want a depth linebacker? And then my corners, you said Nick Cross, I like it. What about Cisco? I've always liked him. He's shown a few flashes. He could be something. If you want to go big time shopping at corner, I wouldn't even mind a Watson from the Chiefs if they decide to move him along. But to me, you got to focus on edge players. You got to focus on depth at linebacker. And all you need is depth pieces on offense. I feel like our guys are good. They're paid. We're set. It's just you need a few extra guys down the depth chart. So that's the very front line of the Oaker free agency, either wish list or throwing a few names for the people.
Another one that just popped up to me, and I know he's a bit polarizing, but Cam Taylor-Britt, that guy just seems gritty to me. I know he's got some injury past, signed with the Bengals, but he seems like a dude that just likes to hit. He's got a bit of a personality. That's another one. I think he's only 27 or 26 actually, coming out of Nebraska. I liked him coming out of college too, former second rounder. He might have a little burr under his saddle to come and play some gritty football for Shep.
I like him. I like Taylor-Britt a lot. I'd be surprised if he's not a guy that's sought after quite a bit, though, because he's been talked about in trades, and then he's exactly what you said. Big physical, nasty dude, but doesn't seem like a total knucklehead, so I think he fits perfectly, and, just be what could you get him for, or what would be his demand, type of thing. He's not the second, third, fourth tier guys like I was kind of saying.
No, I'm surprised though, because I'm looking here and really they're saying $9 million, and but some of these dudes at corner position are going for 16, 12, to roll in and get Cam at 9. I think it'd be okay. I don't even think he's in a top 10 right now, but
a very sneaky trade option that I saw put out there that I've been thinking about for a while too is what about Cam, the edge rusher down there with the Saints? Is it Cam Johnson or
Cam Jordan?
Cam Jordan.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. When you pay with membership rewards points for all or part of an eligible flight booked with a qualifying airline through Amex Travel, you can get 35% of those points back, up to 1 million points back per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
Like, if we can't do anything else, get Cam Jordan here for a year and let him get after quarterbacks with Aiden Hutchinson. I feel like if you can't do any of the other big splashes, but you need production, that could be something you could get done at low cost as far as to get him here. I don't know. He probably has kind of a crazy deal for his age, but I think he's got a year or two left of nice production. He's a hell of a player when it comes to attitude, just grittiness, team player, got some personality, as you said. He would fit right in perfectly, I think.
Yeah, I was blown away to look and see that Cam Jordan is 36 years old. He's been in the league for 15 years.
Jeez, that's older than I thought. Yeah, that's. But what's his name? The big old D tackle who's like 38. I thought he was done 5 years ago, and he keeps making plays with Baltimore and went over to Arizona and all these places. And same with the other big Ironhead Hayward over there in Pittsburgh, Graybeard. Yeah, I thought he was done 5 years ago, and he shows up every week too. So that's older than I'd like, but I'm talking about hey, we struck out on everybody. We can't do anything. Like, Cam, can you get us a year and get after the quarterback? He's boys with Dan Campbell and would love to win. So that might be something.
No, I've loved that player for a long time. Actually, I think I've had him in some of my RFL leagues before. So I'm a big Cam Jordan guy. He's still productive, and he's like one of those dudes that just, there's these guys that they just seem to hang around in the NFL, even when they're not really it just seems like he's one of those dudes where they just pick up the phone and be like, "Hey Cam, can you give us another year?" He's like, "Oh, yep, put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. Let's go." Hey, weren't you talking about retirement 4 years ago? Yeah, well, I can still produce. So, right. Yeah, I like that guy out of New Orleans, and he does have that connection with Dan freaking Campbell.
Choppy, do you realize that we basically had no notes, no prep? I blew out my shoulder basically before we started recording. I don't know what's going on. I've almost made it through my blue raspberry prime drink here. I'm out of cornbread, and we've gone for an hour here for the people without taking a breath. Do you realize this?
Okay, that's what we do here at the Koolaid Cast. Did you realize that we just recorded for, 55 some minutes, and we never once brought up Trey Hendrickson? What?
Well, that's because you dogged him a week ago after you wanted him last year, and then you said he's not that good anymore, and now he's free and available, so it's what a perfect time for him to sign a nice team-friendly 1 to 2 year deal with the Lions.
Yeah, I highly doubt that's going to happen, but but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. He's the number one target. Somebody's going to be throwing him big money. I'm hearing but this is the one thing though. Can I just say, please, for the love of God, do not let Max Crosby get traded to the Bears. I just saw they're the betting favorite to land Max. Max, you don't want to go to Chicago. You don't want to go play for that dweeb Benedict Johnson. You want to come play for a real players coach, Dan freaking Campbell. You want to be unleashed on the other side of Hutch. You want to play for Shep. You want to put on that Honolulu blue jersey. It's crispy. Come home to Michigan, Max.
You've had enough of that.
That's how you feel over there in LA with the the Las Vegas Raiders now. You want to come here and bite some kneecaps. Max double X.
We're going to bite a kneecap off. We're going to smile at you. We're going to take your other kneecap. We're going to smile at you. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. We're going to be the last one standing. All right? That's going to be the mentality.
Chops, we're going to be the last one standing. We've gone an hour. You say you got a choppy index, a grit, something or other. We can go another hour, 2 hours, hour and a half, 3 hours. What do you want to do right now?
Oh, Okri, I think we've hammered home. Like, we've been really trying to keep these under an hour, and this choppy grit, little indicator here. I had it queued up last week. I've carried it over to this week. Now, we didn't even mention that the combine is wrapping up, and all the stats are out there. Logan Lamrandier would be very disappointed in the fact that we didn't even mention a 3-cone shuttle or 40 times for any of these young cats. Hell, you haven't even played the draft music yet today.
Chops, I watched the combine, sort of, but I got into it. It was a lot of this for me. I mean, I didn't pick up much other than certain guys were slipping that I didn't want to be slipping and falling down. We had other guys that were running that don't matter. I didn't take much away. There's a few sneaky Okri finds where I was like, hey, put a few guys on the mental list, but there's still so much work that needs to be done on the old drafts, from getting caught up on that. I haven't even rewatched the Senior Bowl at all yet, so I'm sure I won't even get back to that. But it's like, the draft's going to be here before you know it. And did I mention that we have 9 selections? And then I had to listen to dopes on the radio today talking about, what I'd like to do? You want to know what I think would be a great draft strategy? Let's trade back to get more assets. What are you going to have, 15 picks and a hell of a good football team? Where are you going to put all those players, you freaking morons?
I think you only have a certain amount of slots available on the roster too, by the way. Like, it's not an unlimited roster.
I want to trade down and acquire more chips and hoard assets so I can go draft 3 linebackers. One of which is Jacob Rodriguez. I really like him. Yeah, everybody likes Jacob Rodriguez.
All right, settle down, Croc. Settle down.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just the weirdest stuff to listen to these people talk. Like, I heard a few people give Brad Holmes some love for the trade. I've heard a few people still wanting us to get Max XX Crosby. And then I got to hear everybody and their brother tell us about trade down. I heard some dumb caller call up. What we need to do is trade Jahmyr Gibbs. What's he ever done? What am I listening to here? This guy thinks he knows sports and thought he had to call up and let everybody know that good take. I mean, this is what we're dealing with here in this city sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a sad state at times, but hey, it's March. It's Detroit. We got playoffs coming for the Red Wings. We got the trade deadline coming on Friday for the Red Wings. I might have to drop a red Kool-Aid packet. A Kool-Aid packet for the people on Friday after the trade deadline. Maybe a Monday special there. We got the Pistons rolling. We got the Lions getting ready for free agency. We got the draft coming. Like, it is an exciting time to be a Detroit sports fan, let me tell you. I didn't even get into the college, too, by the way.
Chops, I'm trying to butt in on you, but just keep talking.
I'm not going to let you. I'm going to keep interrupting you. Just keep over-talking.
What's the hashtag choppy hockey scoop for Red Wings? When is that trade deadline? Friday,
March 6th. Is the deadline.
What are the wing things going to do that's going to excite the people? Is Stevie Y going to get off his ass and actually make a move of substance, or is he just going to, we'll play the young cats, and, nobody could give me a good deal, so I just sat around and traded for some scrub 5th liner. What are we going to do here?
No, I think that Stevie Y is gonna turn some heads. He's been collecting those assets, those draft picks, and those prospects. Don't be surprised. I think people are gonna get a little upset when they see a name like Danielson or Casper or one of these other ones getting traded out for a premium asset here. Of course, we know we're looking for a top 4D, and we're looking for a top 6 center or winger, but you're gonna have to pay a little to get a little. But we know Stevie Yzerman isn't just gonna mortgage the farm for UFAs either. So he's got to look. It's gonna be a bigger swing. So be ready for it. I hear he's in on some names, all the popular names out there, the Robert Thomases and the Najim Kadris and a few other guys out there. And hey, I fully expect that on Friday the Red Wings are going to be much better, and Choppy's going to be going woo! Hashtag Choppy Hockey.
I thought I heard somebody on 97.1 the ticket say, do you think Austin Matthews will be in a Wings uniform? And I was like, what? Do you see that happening, Chops? Is that a hashtag market from you?
No, that's not a hashtag market. It's a hashtag. I wouldn't mind seeing it if it happened in the off season, because the Toronto media is going to run his American ass out of town for some reason. But Look, I think you put Austin Matthews on a team where he doesn't have to be the guy. You pair him up with Dylan Larkin as your top two centers, and oh, baby.
I mean, the guy's put up 60 goals like on his sleep. I have him in, you talk about your fantasy dubs. What about hashtag Oakley Hockey? Champion last year, first or second place this year heading into the playoffs. I mean, I think I know hockey better than you, Chops. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, you draft all those guys. I get the standard, hey, Choppy, can you give me the list of your top draft targets so I can go out and take these guys and then tell everybody that I won a championship on my own? Yeah, no, that's... Sounds familiar.
You know how petty Chops is, people? Like, he says this every time. I always do hit him up because he's supposed to be the hockey expert. He sends me some names, yet I use those plus other to win a championship. And the minute I told him I won a fantasy hockey championship and said, hey, buddy, how'd you do? And he was like 5th, 8th, last in his leagues. Now I hit him up this year for a list, and dude didn't give me a list. And I'm still in first or second place. What does that tell you? There you go.
I think that what you missed was when he went whoop-de-doo, Basil. That's what you missed.
Choppy, we've gone over an hour. I could do this in my sleep for another 3 hours. I could make fun of you, take apart your takes, do gimmicks, enlighten the people with Oakley knowledge, but I don't know, man. We got to get up out of here, but I feel like the next few shows are going to have to be like loaded with free agency recap, draft prep, mocks, player breakdowns, this grit index that you came up with. What a unique name you thought of. I don't know how you thought of that name. Only 8 other people came up with that. But like, how are we going to fit all this in when we do the flagship? No, none of those Koolaid packets. There's just way too much to talk about, and I'm warning the people that the Detroit Lions are about to be the talk of the town again. Like, the Pistons are rolling, Chops' wings are doing pretty good, nobody cares about the sport we shall not speak of. Michigan hoops is gonna dominate the tournament. Michigan hockey is number 1. I think I saw that somewhere on the Twitterverse again. Like, it's going crazy, but when the Lions start plucking free agents, putting this roster together, and then get that draft class, oh baby. Hold on, I could do better than that.
Oh, baby.
Hold on, I could do better than that.
Oh, baby.
Chops, you got anything else for the people before we get up out of here?
Oh, I hope you enjoyed this this episode of the Koolaid Cast. When the next one drops, we'll be in the middle of tampering period. You'll get to hear all about it next week. And then before you know it, it'll be actual free agency where none of the free agents will be left. But we'll be talking about it next week on the Koolaid Cast. I'm going to give it back to my host to let him finish it. But let's go. It's exciting.
Everybody, that's what we got, and we'll catch you next time right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. We're out.
Good luck in Houston, Demo.
The truth comes out in the end. Choppy Chop always knew he was Demo. Faux show. Gotta go. You know. Good luck. D-Money.
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions.
Drink it in, man.